Hello and welcome to another episode of Football Corner Pod, wherein we talk about all things football. I'm Hari Keshav, and today I'm very proud to say that we have with us a man who wears many hats. He is an amazing content creator, particularly on Indian football, an expert of sorts, you might say, an FA Level 1 coach, an advisor to the PFA and the FFA. Welcome to the podcast, Mussavir, also known as Musabai for his followers. Thank you so much, Musafir, for accepting our
Thank
invitation.
you so much for inviting me, man, and giving me this exciting opportunity because I love doing podcasts and I love talking about football. So thank you so much for inviting me here, and yeah, it's going to be great, I guess.
Brilliant. As I said, it is a pleasure to have such a passionate football supporter and content creator on the pod. Musabai, for our viewers, could you give us a brief introduction by telling when your football journey began, when you began watching football, creating content about football, especially around Indian football, and what you do in your free time? Because your free time is also occupied
Yeah,
with doing coaching licenses and coaching kids.
yeah.
So it would be great to hear from you, for all our
Well,
viewers.
I think it's all started back in 2003. We knew football existed, but it was all about
Hmm.
cricket. In my
Yeah.
in my household and everything, we all love cricket. But I think 2003 was a year when Dad introduced me to a team. I fell in love with that team, and right now the scene is different. But it was Manchester United. I think
Yeah.
back in 2003 2004 season, we defeated the invincible Arsenal, and that's where it was all about United. But like I never thought that football will be so big for me, after so huge part of my life. As I started growing, I think 2009 and 10 was the year when I was mad about football. It was like skipping classes, skipping everything, going to a cyber cafe, watching videos of Ronaldo, watching videos of Wayne Rooney, getting inspired by them. And I started playing football also because I was trying my hand at cricket, which I was bad at. So I started playing football, got into the district level. Even I played state. I think it was a state level league. So we played there,
Mhm.
and suddenly I was in college. Then it was more about having chit chat with the friends, flexing Sir Alex tactics and everything. I think 2009 was the first time I saw Indian football also. It was just rebranded to I League. I'll be very honest with you. It was not interesting. The broadcasting quality, the playing quality was not that interested. And I think I watched also Nehru Cup, which the first
Mhm.
tournament where India played, which we eventually won when I was introduced to Baichung Bhutia, Sunil Chetri, everyone. So then I was like, okay, now we have a guy, someone like Baichung, have a guy who's
Yeah.
like Chetri. Then again, it was all the internet. And I think 2009,
Yeah.
2010, internet started booming, Facebook came in and stuff like that. So it was all about flexing, man. If you know some random player, I know this guy who you
Yeah.
don't know, yeah?
Okay. Yeah.
It was all about
True.
flexing. Then talking about my content journey right now, it started in 2022. After I got married, I was like, I don't sit while I'm watching a match, be it Indian football, be it only while I'm live streaming, I sit. But if I'm not live streaming, I'm watching a football game. Manchester United, Indian football, any ISL game also, I need to stand. I need to feel like a coach. So I was always in my TV shouting at them, telling what he's doing and everything like that. So my wife was like, you do watch a lot of content creation on YouTube. Why don't you start one?
True.
She pushed me. There
Hmm.
was one more friend named Anshuman, who has
Okay.
the United brilliant channel again. He makes content
Yeah.
on Manchester United. So he also used to do. I used to help him with the thumbnail, with the video editing and stuff like that. And I was like, let's do something. Let's start a channel. Let's create a channel. So slowly I got into it. Then again, United was playing shit. So again, I was like, nah, I'm not interested anymore. I was getting toxic in my videos and stuff. I don't want to do that. It's not me.
Yeah.
So I was like, let's shift. Then the 2022 World Cup came in. Then a very brilliant fan who makes videos on YouTube again. His name is Hiren. Curious Harry, the channel name is.
Mhm.
So I got in touch with him. We have one more Professor Kalinga who was doing Manchester United content also. One guy from Pakistan, Shayan. There was a guy from Nepal also, Gaurav. We made some podcasts and everything, and suddenly clicked. It suddenly clicked.
Brilliant.
Then we had a brilliant year of 2023. It was like I
Yeah.
was the lucky man. Why? Because we just started doing football content on India. Then
Yeah.
the Indian team started playing brilliant. Auguste match was like on a seventh cloud. The team was playing brilliant transitional football. 23 year was one of the best years of my life watching football. like not the United part, but the Indian football part.
Yeah, it's never
Yeah,
true.
it's never for last. I think how many years now? A decade.
10 years,
Yeah,
11,
yeah,
yeah.
11 years. But
I would
again,
say.
for Indian football, I was so happy that we are going to touch somewhere. We are going to do that.
Brilliant.
But again, it all fell off, man. But again, the journey has been brilliant. The fans joining in, the subscriber, I call them my family. They joining in, inspiring me, giving me ideas. Do this, do that. Come to the live sessions. Make video on this. Make video on that. I think now I'm going to brag a bit. There was a lot of suggestions. Make a video on Hamza Chaudhary, and now
Yeah.
I was very thoughtful of it. That should I make it or not? Should I make it? I made, and that's the only video where I got 100K views. You
Yeah,
see,
I know the video on Hamza
and the
Chaudhary
World Cup.
switching allegiance
Exactly,
from England
exactly.
to
And I was in double
Bangladesh.
mind. I think 10 to 20 people pushed me to make a video on that. Thank you so much. Like, seriously, man. I think the month of December has been brilliant for me. Like, the growth is coming. So let's hope for better days for Indian football also. Not only me, for Indian football. Because if Indian football grows, it's at the end. If
True.
football grows, you grow with it. Even though
Absolutely.
we make hundreds of videos, if there is no impact on the football, then it's of no use. For me, it's like that.
That is
For
true.
me, it's always
True.
like that. So yeah, that's been the life, man. And whenever I get a free time, like now, it's never a free time because I go to work in the morning, I come back, I watch a match, go to trainings, see the session out, come back, make a video about it. That's it. Done. Day is done.
Brilliant. Thank you so much, Musabai, for that brilliant introduction. He's very low key flexing because Musabai has recently reached 30K subscribers on YouTube, and his style of content creation, the amount of information he tells you, the viewers, within these 10 or 15 minutes with high quality editing, with brilliant commentary, you have to check him out. So it's a fantastic achievement indeed, because he's not just covering European football or a particular club, but Indian football, something that is very close to our hearts and where we want to see India get better and better. So all of Sabai's socials are in the description in the video below. Please go give him a subscribe, follow his content, because as a football fan, you're going to absolutely love it. But Musabai, when you are able to carve this little time in your day, even that is football related.
Yeah.
You've started coaching under nines, I heard. How did that come about? Because I know you have this passion of football, but I think you wanted to give back as well,
Yeah,
right?
like I said, I know it was always about getting into the coaching because I was not that great player, I would say. But it was always about coaching because when I was playing, I couldn't do those things. But when I was out, I would analyze and try to help my friends out with everything, with the passing and
Yeah.
everything. So it was more like I need to get into coaching, man. It was this year where, yeah, last year I finished my FA level 1. I wanted to do my UFRC. I just started, but again I wanted to have that experience. I want, and this is not India. I stay in a very different kind of a country where football is good, but again, here you need to be professional. You need to have a
Yeah.
certain degree. You need to have certain things. In India, it's not like that. It's simple as that. Let me be very honest with you. So here, it's difficult to get in academy. Like I said, I am a working
Yeah.
professional.
Yeah.
Difficult for me to bring out 3 4 hours a day and get into a professional academy where again my chances are very less to succeed.
That is
So
true.
it was like lengthy emails to so many academies. It was always about what I can offer them in terms of content creation, in terms of helping them out. There, I was so desperate. I'll be very honest with you, without any filters. Desperate. I mailed one of the good coaches in UAE that I'll come there to pick up cones, to pick up all the garbage on the ground, even the bottles and stuff like that. Just let me be on the ground with you. Yeah.
Brilliant.
Yeah, I'll be very honest with you. This was my email,
Yeah.
the last email before I got hired into Yoshi Football Academy, which I didn't mention, by the way. They were very considerate. They were very happy with my plans. They were very happy with my passion to football. And they let me do, man. It's been a month right now. I'm working with them. But again, I got
Okay.
a brilliant chance with them. I'm trying my best, man.
Brilliant. How is it to coach kids? Because we had this chat before, right? You have to get them interested in the game. Nobody is expecting you to teach them formations. But how do you
It's
inculcate this interest in kids?
it's easy, it's tough because it's easy
Yeah.
because the kids love to just move around, hit someone, do some mischief because and football is all about mischief when you're teaching the kids, right? But again, to handle them, it's a task, man. To make sure that they are not getting injured or not fighting, that's a task. So I'm learning. I'm looking at the coaches who are working with the kids. I'm learning from them, always taking notes, what should be done and everything. So yeah, I would say it's too fun watching those kids kick around the ball, make those silly fouls, hit someone and stuff like that. Because it's a contact sport. It's a contact sport.
Yeah,
So
it
you
is.
can't just go and nag again and again with the kids. So yeah, it's been great. It's been great. Yeah.
Brilliant. There's nobody that I know in my circles who is as passionate about Indian football and trying to bring to the viewers how great it is, but also some of the issues surrounding it, which is what we're going to talk in today's episode. So, what we will do is we will talk about the catastrophic year that the Indian national football team had in 2024. We will also do an ISL roundup and insights into India's budding superstars to look out for. So, let's dive into the episode. 2024 was a really bad year for Indian national football. Let's start with the qualification
Yeah.
campaign for the FIFA World Cup. For the first time, I think India failed to qualify for the third round and defeats against
No,
Minos,
we never
Afghanistan.
qualified for the third round. We were always in second round.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, just for
Okay.
the I'm correcting you, but again, we never qualified for the third round, and this time it was a big chance. This time we had so many teams, like in every group, there was less chance. But if you look at the India's group, there was a chance.
Yeah.
When you see the Afghanistan squad, even though they are good, I'm not gonna downgrade them. Even Kuwait, decent, but again, we have already won against these teams. The history speaks for itself. Okay, you're not winning away games. I totally get it, man. It's tough to win away
Yeah.
games and stuff. At least the home games. Forget about Qatar. The other games we could have won very easily. Couple of draws we could have done way better. But again, it's all about the intent our team had. Like we start with the qualifiers one. We won the first game. Now I know the hype was real. It was the first away game where India won, right? Away
Yeah.
game for India was always tough. And first time we did
Yeah.
something, and everything was set in pace. That match was okayish, but the goal came in 1-0. We won. That's important at the end, right?
True.
So the pace was set and everything was done, and we were not expecting to win the Qatar game anyways. It was a 3-0
No.
hammering. I was expecting somewhere 4 or
Yeah.
5-0 hammering. So I was okay with this. But I think we went into the AFC Asian Cup where again I was not expecting much from India. Australia, Uzbekistan, of course, they will hammer us. As simple as that.
Yeah.
I was expecting something against Syria, but again, it was okayish match. We were very blunt in terms of attack. No issue. Now the main scenario comes where we are going to play double header against Afghanistan. Now this is where
Yeah.
my blood boils. This is where my blood boils. The away match difficult for India. I agree. It was played in Abha, Saudi Arabia. Again, India had lots of problem, mismanagement from All India Football Federation. We couldn't get the flights and stuff like that. Okay, I do get it. The Afghanistan team was training. They did well. They played local friendlies also. It's okay. Match was draw. Okay, no issue. But the return leg was so pathetic. We were the ones who scored in the first half. It was a penalty.
Yes.
Yeah. And the second half was so shambolic. After the 60th minute, we were just dusted, man. There was no
Yeah.
stamina, there was no character, there was no resilience from a team. It felt like 11 losers were on the pitch. It is what it is. And Afghanistan was so good in terms of passing. They just rolled over India, man. And I would say that was something I would never forget.
And when you look at the investment India has put into the Indian football team versus the Afghanistan team, because Afghanistan was coached by ex BFC
Yeah,
coach
yeah.
Westwood,
Yeah.
right? And he had to, when he went to Afghanistan, and I read that he didn't have 11
No,
players
no,
on
he
the field.
didn't. He didn't.
He had to get players with the OCI cards who had Afghanistani roots in order to create a team and then go in a two-legged header against India, not lose a single match.
That's something
That
amazing.
was
That
what
shows
exactly.
mental character. People say a lot that Afghanistan players were like a dual national and stuff like that. But I would say no one was quality, man. But the resilience they showed, the attitude, even though going 1-0 down and coming back to win it 2-1, that's mentality for me. The coach knew exactly, the coach had a plan, and he looked so good with his tactics, in-game tactics or the substitutions and everything. Everything was on point. And we were looking headless chickens. Then I
Yeah.
understood that the 2023 year was all about players' form. It was not about the tactics. It's not about
Mm.
the coach. It was all about players' form. Because we were like on the verge of beating Iraq.
True.
Iraq, like they are a team which I never thought of beating. Our performance was top notch. Our performance was one of the best performances in the recent decade, I would say. So a team like that, I thought. Then when I go and watch that match, it's always about form for India. If
Yeah.
the players are good in form, we were winning. The players are out of form, we were losing. And 2024, if you see ISL also, the players are not looking in good form. They are not in good shape. It was bad. After that Kuwait game, bad again. The Qatar game, there was some hope. We did well, but again, it was a ref. But again, it's
Yeah.
not always ref. You get
Yeah.
90 minutes. A ref might do a couple of mistakes, but you got 90 minutes to play a brilliant game, a big game of football, which you should be doing. 68 passing accuracy. It's like for the amateurs. What kind of accuracy is that? You are professional
Yeah.
players getting paid in crores. Come on, at least
Yeah.
keep it above 70, man.
It
Seriously.
was a very bad campaign, but any positives that you could pick out from this underwhelming campaign just to give Indian fans hope in 2025? Some players who caught your eye, some eye catching performances, something for Indian fans to hold on to for
I think it
2025
was
year.
Sandesh Jhingan. His performance
Mhm.
in the AFC was him, man. Even though he was injured on head, I still remember he gave a good
Mhm.
performance. Yeah, it was only him, I would say. That's it. People will say, because everyone wants to see a goal scorer. Yeah,
True.
everyone will say Edmund. He was not a goal scorer, but he was good in Indian team. Also, Farooq Chaudhary would say, because he scored against Vietnam. Even Tengri's performance against Australia was good. Yeah, Jhingan would be the only player in the year 2024 who did well for me.
Brilliant. Let's move on to the Intercontinental Cup because India had won in 2023. And if you look at the opponents that they faced, it looked very promising because the only opposition we had of some strength was Syria. But that also was a disaster. India did not score a single goal from being winners in 2023 to not scoring a single goal. What happened there, Musabai?
See, I know the coach changed, of course, yes.
Hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Even I would say there was shift of tactics and everything. I totally get it. Passing accuracy got better. Coming back to the passing accuracy, because I still remember again Mauritius played well
Mm.
in that game. They were good. They were compact. They knew exactly what to do, when to do, what to do. Because I still remember, I think we took one shot each in that match. It was just one shot on the
Mhm.
target. That's it. It was all about passing sideways, trying to do a transition and fail at it, going again, same circle of transition and failing at it. When you're making a transition, an attacking transition from a defense to attack, and you fail miserably in the midfield, your attackers are not getting enough balls at their feet, you don't tend to score goals. It's simple as that.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
need the mid to do all the dirty work, pull out those
Yeah.
balls, put that
Mm.
in attack. But the attackers are getting deprived of balls, then it's done. You will
Yeah.
not win any match.
Yeah.
So again, it was the same thing, man. Our midfield was dead.
Mm.
I think even against Syria, I was not expecting to win, because again, a new coach, he was trying to understand. But again, a good thing about that India versus Syria game was we took 18 shots in that game. With India, 18 shots against Syria, it's a big thing for me at
Yeah.
least. For me at least. And we did that, so that was a positive thing for me, in that we had the passing accuracy has increased. Against Syria it was 85%. So you
Okay.
see, there was a slight change in the game plan, in the passing accuracy. The team
Mhm.
had a big overhaul, even though we lost, because Syria was very potent in terms of attack.
Mm.
They were very good in terms of scoring goals, while India missed the goal scorer.
Yeah.
They don't have a potent attacker right now. I might
Mm.
name 100, but again, no one will score goals for India in that 100. See, I'll give you a perfect example. You watch Premier League
Mhm.
closely, right? See, on
Yes, I do.
any team in the world. I'm not comparing them. You're a fine example. Now, the problem at United, people might say it has a management problem. People might say it's a coach problem. People might say some are too big of a ego and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But tell me one striker in the last decade, apart from Lukaku or Ibrahimovic, because they came
Mm.
for a certain period, they went off. Even Cavani.
Yeah. Yeah.
Name one striker who, in your memory, who is with United for more than 3 or 4 seasons, who is scoring at least 15, 20 goals per season. Because
No one.
elite clubs, the top six, the big
Yeah.
six, which we call, everyone has one striker who has stayed with the
Yeah.
club 3, 4, 5 seasons. They have been scoring 15 to
Yeah.
20 goals, and that's why the team is
Yeah.
winning. Liverpool has more. Look at Man City,
Yeah.
multiple strikers. They have got Erling Haaland right now. But if you look at United, they don't have that certainty. They have like young strikers. Now, same with
True.
India. See
Yeah.
now,
Hmm.
with Manchester United, they have got Holland, who is new. Again, you
Yeah.
can't expect more goals from him. With India also, it's same problem. We don't have a
Hmm.
guy apart from Sunil Chetri, who is also retired right now. Yeah, he is 40 and he's one of the top scorer in the Indian Super League. He has 12 goals this season. And in top 10 also we don't have any goal scorers. So you see it's
That
a
is.
whole
Yeah.
team problem also. But strikers are
Yeah.
very important. They are the main piece of the puzzle. And that's where
Mm.
both the teams I support are lacking. So it's a
Yeah,
little problem. Yeah,
unfortunately.
unfortunately, but it is the
Yeah,
problem.
but you said there is no link between the midfield and the strikers failing to score goals. Does the Indian midfield not bring in goals? Is that a tactical issue? How happy you're with the current coach?
See, like I said, if you see Indian football right now in the
Mhm.
last 5 games, I would say when Manolo took over, I'm happy
Mhm.
with the tactics we
Mhm.
are working on. Because for me, even though if you are not winning, the stats matter. There is a sense of something is changing. Apart from
Yeah,
individual errors, we are
true.
feeling like a better team. But as an overall team, putting out an impact and not losing a game in last four, no, 2 games, I guess. We have not lost a match. Yeah, so that's important. Yeah,
That's good.
we need to build on that. But also we need to
Okay.
see around us that how teams are building.
So is that the hope for 2025, that we are on a path, we have somewhere to start, that we can build on it? But sometimes, as you said, with fans and with the players as well, also with United, you have to get some
Yeah,
wins in
yeah.
order to for players to get
Have that
buy-in
motivation.
that
Yeah,
okay, this is working. Yeah.
motivation.
So I think that is what we probably need in 2025. But any next gen superstars for India that you see who is in this 2023 and 2024, probably they are still taking in, understanding, soaking in, but you can see them in 2025 coming out and really performing for India
Yeah,
on that level.
I would name one guy who has caught my eye.
Mhm.
He's working very hard. That is Koru Singh from Kerala Blasters. He's just 17, but he's doing good. He's really
Okay.
working hard. So that's one. Also, I would say if you've been Mohanan is one of the guy who I would love to see him in midfield. I used to love the way Parthiv Gogai used to play, but again he's turning into another Rashford kind of scenario right now. That Rashford arc is coming in him. So that's the problem. I love players who drop the attitude and play for the coach.
Yeah.
Because anyways, you're getting paid. You're getting paid.
True.
You're winning, you're losing, you're getting paid. So drop that
Yeah.
attitude, drop the casual game. You are just playing for 90 minutes. 90 minutes in a day. I know it's a very contact sports. I know it's a very physical sport. The next 2 days you might not even feel like walking and stuff like that. I do get it. But I love to compare some things when I'm seeing a guy who is working hard and not getting that kind of a recognition where you are getting that. You need to up your game, man.
True.
Yeah. There is a guy in I
100%.
League. He's working his socks off. I'm talking about Edmund. He got offer from ISL clubs, but he didn't take those offers because he wanted more game time. He wants to play. He wants to work hard. So you see, he's not getting paid that much, but he's working hard. He's putting in the work. But a guy like you who has a team on your shoulder, you have got a very good coach in Pedro Benali. You should be working hard too, man. You should be putting in the effort. But yeah, again, Parthiv Gogai has made a comeback. I would say in the last 2 matches, I have been impressed. But again, I want to see him working more because he has that talent, man. He has that talent. When you see a
Yeah.
talent and when you see he's wasting it, then I feel bad. I really feel bad.
Yeah.
And in
100%.
India, there was a guy named Alvin George. I was so mad, in love with him. I'm
Mhm.
like, the game was so brilliant, so good, so mercurial. I thought that he's the next Chetri or he might go to Europe and he might represent India in Europe. But he fell off. Might be there
Yeah.
were injuries involved, physicality involved. Because I still feel that some of the Indian players, they feel that if they get a little bulk, they might lose of running or something. I don't know what's the problem.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I think the injuries ate him off. Alvin George, yeah, man, he was good. But again, coming to the next gen superstars, for me, I would only name three. I don't want to disrespect anyone, but for me, I'm
Yeah.
watching them again and again and again. I would say that is
Exactly.
Vibin Mohanan, that is Koru Singh, and one more would be Vikram Pratap. Let's
Okay.
see what happens.
Hopefully, they have a really good campaign with in the ISL and also with the Indian team. That's a good segue into what we are moving into next. So let's do a quick roundup of the Indian Super League since we are halfway into the
Yeah,
campaign. Could you give us, our viewers, a quick roundup of ISL so far as to how this season has been versus previous seasons that you have seen? Because I think we are in the 10th year, I think I am guessing,
11th,
right?
11th. Yeah, we are in the 11th year.
11th year. Okay, brilliant. So you've seen it emerge from nothing into 11 years of football. Still young.
Hmm.
We've had 11 years. How this current season has been. And then in the end, we'll do some rapid fire questions
Sure.
as well.
I would say
Yeah.
Indian Super League has grown. Many people say otherwise, but I have seen it from the first season. I have analyzed it from the first season. So I feel the gameplay. When you see when Indian Super League came into existence, it was obvious superstars were called and stuff like that. The game was different. But I think the main Indian Super League started from 2017 or 18 season, I would say. And from there, we have seen a bit of growth in terms of the pace of the game. Now, I know all the teams they play at a very good pace, but there are certain games where I see the pace is very good. Kerala Blasters game, Mumbai's game, Bengaluru FC has always brought a different kind of ideology and different kind of coaches who has always kept Bengaluru's game up even though they had some bad years, but again they have came back. So also Northeast United right now are playing ultra attacking mode. They don't care if they are conceding or not. They need to attack, and that's what I love about Juan Pedro Benali. Molina's Mohan Bagan Super Giants have a different kind of mentality. People say that they get a bit of help from the referees, but I say okay, whatever it is, but still they have that players, they have that hunger in them. They came back. Now Oscar Bruzan took over East Bengal. That East Bengal squad is doing great. Then you have underdogs like Jamshedpur FC. You have got underdogs like Hyderabad because you can't judge these teams. Suddenly you think, yeah, these teams are easy. We can beat them. They beat you and go.
Yeah.
That's the thing about Indian Super League right now. Punjab FC are playing brilliant football. They are playing one of the best football in the league. They have no big names in their squad, but still they are doing good. So these are the things.
Nice.
And I think this year
Yeah.
has been exciting in terms of Indian Super League. There is drama, there is controversy, there has been brilliant goals, there has been some good counter-attacking football, best defensive football I have seen this year also. So yeah,
Nice.
it's been a great year in Indian Super League. Every day some new drama comes in. So it's exciting. I used
Yeah.
to watch 90% Europe and 10% Indian football. Now it's
No,
90% of Indian football and 10% of Europe for me. I'm not bragging
that's
about it,
amazing.
but you guys really, when you get into Indian football, every day there's some sort of drama which you enjoy it. Meme wise,
Yeah.
rant wise, or whatever it is, you enjoy that things, right? Yeah.
Nice.
But like I said,
Brilliant.
ISL is growing, and
Yeah.
even yeah, there are some exciting players which I didn't name them, but still, it's been good year for Indian Super League, not for Indian football, but for Indian Super League, I would say.
Thank you so much for that roundup. So let's do a quick rapid fire regarding some key things that our viewers and also I would like to understand. So, your perspective, Musabai, the best team in ISL and why? This season.
This season, I would say Bengaluru FC. I would say Bengaluru FC
Okay.
right now, and also Northeast United. Now, why these two teams? Because my expectations was very different for Bengaluru. My expectation for Northeast United was very different. But these two teams have impressed me a lot in terms of
Very
the
nice.
resilience they have shown in this ISL. These two teams have been brilliant. There are no big goal scorers, but still they are doing great. I would say Bengaluru and Northeast United. These two teams have been impressing me whole season. Yeah.
Brilliant. Which coach has caught your eye?
It was Khali Jamil, Jamshedpur FC, because
Uh,
I was not expecting
yeah.
again big things from him. Also, I would say Juan is always my fave. He knows exactly with the minimum squad, with low profile squad, how to do good things. But I'm again impressed with our national team coach, man. Seriously, Manolo Marcus again proving why he is the best at his work. With FC Goa, when Indian Super League started, FC Goa was like falling off. But in the last
Yeah.
5 games, he has won 4 and just drew 1. So that shows his
Nice.
quality. That shows his quality. It's always going to be the
Brilliant.
gaffer of Indian national team.
Yeah. You mentioned the coach of Jamshedpur FC. I was just going through this list and I found that there's only an Indian origin
Yes.
coach with Jamshedpur
Yes.
FC and Kerala Blasters. Do you see that as a worry, or do you feel that this is good because it allows young Indian players in
Oh,
these ISL teams to get foreign exposure as
no,
well?
Khali Jamil is a coach. I really look up to him. He's a very good coach.
Mm,
He has done brilliant things with Northeast United past three
mm,
to four seasons, and also now with Jamshedpur because his tactics are very different. Some day he's Big Sam, some days he's Arteta or Pep Guardiola, some days he's back to Big Sam. So it's very easy. He has
yeah.
that tactical flexibility in him. That's why I love him. And I don't think so. It's a worry sign. Surely it's a very good because the up coaches, it's like if Ishfaq Ahmed, Renedy Singh, these are the upcoming coaches who are coaching in the I League and stuff. So they will look up to him and they will try to learn a bit of things from him. And you never know. We need Indian coaches in the top level also because it shouldn't be always the foreign coaches and coming and teaching the teams.
Exactly.
Because coaches like we have massive experience like Owen Coyle, Mikel Stare, Oscar Bruzen, they are lacking. So
Yeah.
yeah, I would say Khalid Jamil needs to be appreciated. He has done a brilliant job with the Jamshedpur FC.
Brilliant. You did this one video about this young striker from Mohammedan FC. Even though that club is at the bottom of ISL, this striker from Mohammedan FC has caught your eye, and why?
He's getting transferred because he's a OCI player. He's a PIO, person of
Yeah,
Indian origin
exactly.
player. Shan Handal. I don't know how good is he, but when I saw his game, a bit of highlights because I didn't watch live games and I don't judge a player on highlights. It's a very wrong. every
True. Absolutely.
every good player because this Manchester United has taught me this. This
That is so
compilation
true.
merchants who was taken over our team taught me one good lesson. That is never
Yeah.
trust compilations, man.
True.
So
True.
yeah, but again, I think Sean Handel, because I had a very good chat with the fans back in Canada who watch Canadian Premiership. They were like, this guy decent, I would say, not that good. But if he gets a chance in Indian Super League, he might, up his game. Or you can say it will really carve a way for the other OCIs or PIOs to look into Indian Super League. Most of the PIOs who are getting a chance to represent certain nationality where they are playing, okay, that they are a different level. But there are lots of PIO and OCIs who are not getting the chance and are getting paid less. Now, Indian Super League
Yeah.
pays good. That will
Yeah.
catch the eye and they might come into the Indian Super League. I'll be very honest, man, without any filters. I don't think so.
Yeah.
India with local players in the next two World Cup, we will not qualify. We will not qualify. Now, if you bring PIO, OCI, I'll promise you, 2030 World Cup, India has a brilliant chance. I'm not talking about the qualification. I'm saying the World Cup.
Yeah.
Why I'm saying this?
Okay.
Because we have certain players in India playing in the Indian Super League. When they have quality around, let me name them, Manivir Singh, for instance. He has
Yeah.
bit of quality around. He's a very different player. But
Yeah.
when he's pressured, he's done. He's chickened out. He's done. He's finished.
Yeah. Yeah.
I want that quality around players. Manvir Singh, think about Jingan. If we get Danny Bart just beside him, just think about Danny Bart and Jingan in that defense. How good that
Yeah.
defense will look.
Yeah.
For instance, Anwar and Danny Bart. Anwar, Jingan and Danny Bart, three at the back. Oh, look at just one player just changed in the whole defense.
True.
So I know
True.
it's a long shot. I always try to not talk about the OCIs because it's a distance dream. But when you talk about them, there is a certain enthusiasm in you, right? That we can
Yeah.
do better things. Now,
100%.
what's his name? The Bengaluru's goal scorer.
Williams, I think his name
yeah,
is.
yeah, fair player also. He's a PIO
Yeah.
player also. Bring him on the wings. Keep him on the left wing. Suddenly our wings look good. Yeah.
Good,
Put
yeah.
Shan Handal up front. It's good. Simrajan Tandi at the right back. Oh my God, look at the defense. It's just like mercurial defense right now. See so much of depth we have if we bring the OCIs and PIOs. But again, it's a very
Absolutely.
different call. It's a governmental call, so it's difficult for us. I don't know, but like I say, we have really players like Dylan Markhande if they come. Jan Danda, for instance, man, we have a brilliant
Yeah, exactly.
creator
Yeah.
number 10 who will just, with both the hands, he will feed the striker. That's the dream, man. I know many people will say, no, grow the young players, grow the local players. Nah, we are not. We don't have that quality to grow young players. It might take us a decade or more if we work honestly. And honesty and AFF don't go hand in hand. So it's difficult.
Unfortunately, that is the case, but it's a good blueprint, right? Because other national teams have done this really well. If you look at Qatar and Saudi Arabia, they've used this in order to get some wins. And that is exactly like you said, Musabai. When the team is winning or performing really well, more and more people are following, more and more youngsters want to get into the game. So this could really be a good blueprint rather than spending another decade or decade and a half trying to improve players amidst all the uncertainty and corruption
Exactly.
that the AFF have,
See,
unfortunately. Yeah. So,
AFF has a very quick solution at hand. Government. You're
yes,
anyways, you're eating the money. Just for that money, just push the government. Do
true.
something like what Qatar has done. Now, Qatar has given lots of nationality to a lot of players. Let me tell you, maybe you know that, but they don't get all the benefits a local gets over there. As a sports person, they are playing. They are not getting the loans or the work and everything which is free. The hospitality is free for the Qatari local person, but they don't get that. They are in the sporting merit. And now an Indian guy played against India because, of course, if you give two passports to him, a Qatar passport and an Indian passport, he'll go for the Qatar passport because he knows the elite side.
100%.
So that's the
Yeah,
thing. So India needs to do something like that. Give them a sporting passport or something like that, where
true.
he plays for India for a certain. Give him a 5-year passport.
Yeah,
Don't give him everything. Anyways, we don't have that kind of facilities also. But still, I'm saying
true. That is true. Yeah.
because many of them say because of the security reason we are not allowing, the land of the law doesn't permit them and stuff like that. Who is tell your daughter or give your land, give your house or something like that? Give him a
Yeah.
freaking passport. Tell him you can play for India for 5 years, and if you're good enough, we will extend it and stuff like that. Or at least give him for 1 year,
Yeah,
and you can
absolutely.
exist and extend it. We are not saying ki open the gates of India for everyone. Open the gates for the worthy athlete who wants to represent you. This can be done in a
Absolutely.
minute, man. It doesn't take time if
Yeah.
government thinks about it. Danny Bath came to India. Michael Chopra, who used to play for Kerala Blaster, wanted to have an Indian passport also. So just give them those passport. Give someone who wants to represent India, man. At the end, he will be
Brilliant.
walking
Yeah.
down the tunnel for you. As simple as that. These are the small
Yeah.
things which I
Yeah.
expect from the government. There are lots of taxes. We are paying taxes on popcorn also right now. So please, we can make something like
Yeah.
that, right? So it's not a big thing. It's not a
Absolutely.
big thing, man. Come on.
Brilliant.
So I want, man. Like you say, now you don't follow much Indian football because yeah,
Yes.
there is no exposure in that. There is no
100%.
thrill in that. Now, suddenly, India starts winning. You feel thrilled, you
Yeah.
feel entertained. Let's watch more matches.
Absolutely.
From watching matches
Yeah.
to going and attending those matches, becoming a fan of certain club because that guy is playing in that club. Business comes up. And football is one of the
Yeah.
biggest business in the world. I think more profit comes from the FIFA Football World Cup in the world. Is
Yeah.
the reality, right? So why I don't know
True.
India is thinking in that kind of perspective or something. I don't know, but let's see. Let's hope for the better future, man.
But that is why we need content creators and people who will enlighten
Exactly.
us regarding these issues, Musabai. And you're doing that work. And hopefully, somebody is watching this podcast. I don't expect things to move, but somebody is watching this podcast and at least thinking.
Yeah.
Because how many times these federations and these big boards are actually listening to the voice of the fan? And that is what you are providing, Musabai, with your content creation, the pulse of the fan. And I really hope a lot of us feel the same way, and you've talked about it many times, so I hope that your pleas are heard by the right people and we see Indian football in the next level. That is all we have for this episode. Thank you so much, Musabai, again for joining us on this podcast. You truly are an expert when it comes to Indian football. But beyond all that, beyond being an expert, being passionate about football, you're an amazing person, because
Thank you.
all we did was just give you a message and say, would you like to join us for the podcast? And within minutes, Musabai said, yes, this sounds like a brilliant idea. I want to come. We're going to talk about Indian football. That is the man Musabai is as well. So please go look at his content that he's creating. As I said already, he is a leading light for content
Thank you so
creators
much. Thank
like
you so
us.
much. See,
Recently reached around 30K subscribers. So
yeah.
I'm
Sorry,
very
I'm
proud of
I'm
you,
cutting you
Musabai.
down because when you said
No worries.
regarding that, for me, like I'm coming on your channel. Maybe some of those people who follow you might follow me. Okay, but there
Yeah.
might be one person who don't know about Indian football. He might get
100%.
he might find out some new things about Indian football. He might follow Indian football. He might be an extra voice for us, when we are talking about Indian football. So that I want. So whenever something like this comes up, a podcast or something like that, I want to share my inner feelings also, so that it touches someone and he follows what's going on in Indian football. It doesn't matter is following me or subscribing to me or not, but this is small
Yeah.
things are very important for me. So I'm just searching, man. I'm scouting fans. I'm scouting fans, not the players right now. I'm scouting fans.
Brilliant, Musabai. Your vision for the fan base, your vision to take Indian football forward, that is exactly what inspires people like us, but more importantly, to look for fans, to enlighten the fans about Indian football. So thank you so much once again.
Thank you again.
As always, please share, subscribe to our content on Football Corner Pod. Your love and support has been par excellence and gives us the confidence to invite people like Musabai on our channel as well. So keep it coming, guys, and we will be back soon with another episode. So until then, please take care, stay safe, see you soon, and be aware of any corners taken quickly. See you guys. Bye.
Bye bye.